Okay, good afternoon once again. We are still on production management. The last time we met, we talked about a very important topic. And I said it is very important because you need it, especially in your case study. Usually some cases are centered on such aspect, especially when you are asked to look at what made a business successful or what made a business fail. So we looked at location of industry and the factors that account for that. Today we are going to look at another important aspect of production management. It is important because these days examiners set questions on that aspect, and students usually deviate. When students, you remember when we were talking about forms of production, I made it clear that we will be doing another one, types of production. And usually students are not taught the types of production in school. What they do is the types of industry in economics. So business management, most teachers do not teach the types of production. So when students are asked to talk about types of production, almost 90% of them will be talking about the forms of production. So they'll be looking at extractive, they'll be talking about extractive, well explained, manufacturing, well explained, and other aspects of the forms. But once the question was on the type, you will certainly get 0 for that. So you have to take note and note the difference between forms of production and the types of production. What we are going to do this afternoon, we have already done the forms of production. What we are going to do this afternoon is the types of production. So you take note of that one. In economics, when you say types, this is not what you do. That is the one you, what you do is the one we have said forms. So take note of that and know which subject are you writing. Are you writing business management or economics? And you know what to write anytime you are asked. So today we'll be looking at, let me say at your level, 3 types of production. Actually, we can talk about 4. But at your level SHS, the 2, that is the mass and then the flow, they are seen as one, even though they are not the same. There is difference between mass production and flow production. In technical sense, the two are not the same. But what is in your syllabus is that you are supposed to know job production, batch production, and flow production. Job production, batch production, and flow production. I'm going to make it very simple for you to understand. So before I even go into it, let me give you brief explanation so that will give you more understanding of that. You know, if you have a material, then you go to a tailor. You are the one to tell the tailor what you want. If you are even twins, you may go to a tailor with the same material, but your style may be different. If you want a tailor to sew a pair of trousers or trousers for you, what you do is that some may tell the tailor that he should do what we call turn up. Somebody may say, I don't want it. Somebody wants the one to fit, the one you say to fit you. Some of you girls will go and tell the tailor a particular skirt, and what you may want, the same material that another person will, what you want may be different from what the other one. So that the tailor will do it according to your requirement. The tailor will do it according to your specification. That is a form of production. No, that is a type of production. It is a type, not a form, a type of production. Or a method of production. Instead of saying types of production, you can also say method of production. But what they usually ask is the types of production. But it's the same as method of production. So what I've just described to you is a type of production we call job production. Job production. You go, the tailor, so I said production of single units of different products according to the customer's specification. So that's why I have underlined the phrase according to customer's specification. This specification here is what you want. You remember the trouser, somebody may want 10 up. I hope you know when you say 10 up. Another person may not want it. Somebody may not want pocket at all. Another person wants 4 pockets. 2 in front, 2 at the back. Somebody may want only front pocket but not back. This shirt I'm wearing, if I had gone to a tailor, I must have told the tailor that I didn't want the pocket. Somebody may want it. Somebody may not want the collar to be like this. Somebody may want it to be like this. This is what somebody may want. Somebody may not want the collar at all. So the tailor will give your requirement. The tailor will sew the material according to your specification. So that is what we call job production. That's what we call job production. So it can be a small tailor-made. So I said it can be a small tailor-made product or a huge piece of equipment. A particular town may want a certain bridge, but they want certain specification. Another may want a specific specification. So once you have told the tailor to give you what you require in terms of style, in terms of model, in terms of size, somebody wants mini skirt, other person doesn't want that. Somebody wants long sleeves, another person wants short sleeves. So the tailor does it according to your specification. So that is for the job production. Now let's look at some characteristics of job production. Very simple, straightforward. You see, if I had gone to a tailor with this material, another person had gone to the tailor with the same material, my style, my model will be different from that person's. So what it then means is that there is no standardization. There is no standardization. On the other hand, this one that I'm wearing, I bought it from a store. It was made on large scale by a manufacturer, even outside Ghana. So it came from somewhere. They made millions of them. So if you look at this shirt I'm wearing, and the size, if it is extra large, and somebody also goes to buy this same shirt, extra large, it will be the same. The color, the shape, everything. If you look at the cuff link, this style here, When you go to the store, you see the same thing. This trouser that I'm wearing, the same thing, I bought it elsewhere. And if you look at it, they have written Jeep here. What has been written here is Jeep. Now, when you go to the store, you can go and buy the same thing. If my waist is 32 and yours is 32, it is good. The size is going to be the same. The shape is going to be the same. Everything is going to be the same. So that means there is standardization. But in job production, there is no standardization. So that is number one. Why is it that there is no standardization? Because it is made according to the customer's specification. Another characteristic of the job production is that general purpose machines are used. General purpose machines are used. We have specialized machines and we have general purpose machines. If you look at the video I put on YouTube concerning the manufacturing of garri, you see that machine. That machine can only be used for that production of garri and nothing else. It cannot be used for any other thing. So we say that machine is a specialized machine. And it is associated with flow production. Specialized machines is associated with flow production. So if you look at that video, you see what was going on is the flow production. And when I come there, you give the reason why it is called flow. And that's why you produce in larger quantity. But when you come to job production, they use general purpose machine. Why did they say general purpose machine? Okay, you went to a tailor. You wanted the tailor to sew a pair of trousers for you. Is that not it? That sewing machine he used, you use the same machine to sew shorts for another person, shirt for another person, cover for another person. So whatever you want the tailor to do, that same machine is used to sew the different things. So the machine is not a specialized one, it's a general purpose machine. Another characteristic of this job production is that, people require different items. So the emphasis here is on creativity. You have to be creative. The producer should be creative. You have to be. See, if somebody comes and the person says, this is what I want you to make for me, you should be able to make it for the person. You don't say me, I cannot make this. No. You have to be creative. You have to be innovative. So that is another characteristic of the job production. So no standardization, general purpose machines are used. Creativity, it emphasizes on creativity and then innovativeness. Then related to this point is that workforce should have varied skills. Workforce should have varied skills. You should be, the person said he wanted 10 up. Let me see whether I can show you what show this one here down to my trouser, let it go down for me to hand. So bring it up. If the person wanted the 10 up, this is 10 up. That is what some people want. Somebody doesn't want it. Somebody wants it like this. So that is for okay, so that is it. So you must have varied, workforce must have varied skills. If you know only how to sew the straight one as money, somebody comes, the person wants the 10 up, you cannot. So you are going to lose customers. If it is cover, somebody wants hairs this way, another person wants hairs this way. So if you don't have varied, different skills, then you'll be out of business. So that is for that one. Now we move to the second type of method, batch production. The word batch here is synonymous to group. Let me give you a simple explanation before we go into it. You see, when you guys were in school, unfortunately, you have not had your school uniforms. Even though you are in, when school opens, you'll be in Form 2. But if you have had your school uniform, and it is likely, let me, yes, have you, come. Have you had your house dresses from the school? Has the school given you house dresses? Okay, good. So let me use that one, house dresses. The green, the white, and then those one, you have had them. You know, when you were in school, you were told all the dresses or the jerseys or whatever they did not come at a time. You were there when you were told that the Densu people, your house dresses have come, so you should go for. Then you went for yours. Then another time, another house, you were called. After some time, and so forth. That is what happens. You know, they will make, let's say the school ordered for, you were 700, and the school ordered for 700 house dresses. And you know, it's the government that pays. So let me say the government ordered for 700, or let's say you are 900. Let me use 900. And the government ordered for 900 for you. It has been given to someone. The person will not make the 900 at a time. The person may decide that he or she is going to make the first 300, and then he or she brings the first 300. So you'll be in school, then the first 300 will come. Then you'll be asked to go for. Then after some time, the person will make the second 300. Then that one too will come. Maybe in a month's time, in 2 weeks' time, then those who are supposed to go for that one too will go for it. Then the last batch will come. The last batch will come. Then you go for that today. You see, the person made it in groups of 300. That is what we call batch production. Somebody who wants to make biscuit, bread, or what have you, they can decide, okay, if it's a large business, they are making, let's say, 1,000 loaves of bread. So the first 200 will be made. When they are through with that one, then the second 200, the third 200, making 600, the fourth 200, making 800, then the last 200, making 1,000. That is batch production. That is batch production. So it's as simple as that. So I said batch means group. So it is manufacturing of group or batches, groups or batches of different products, either to meet customers' requirements. So the customer, in our case, for example, the school requested for the house dresses. So it is to meet customers' requirements. It is to meet customers' requirements, or to be held in store for sale to the customers. So either you have requested for it, then you have told them what you want, your style and whatever, so that to some extent there may be standardization. Because remember, when the school dresses come, all of you see, if you are in a particular house, the style, the shape, everything is the same. The only difference may be the size. So there will be standardization. So if you are working and anybody sees the color, everybody sees that this person is in Densu house. This person is in Nkrumah house. This person is in Pra house. This person is in so and so house. This person is in Waterhouse, and so on and so forth. So even in batch production, there may be standardization. There may be standardization. But another school too may require different style from your school. So for that school, if you compare the standard with your own, it may be different. But in that school too, the styles, the sales, and everything will be the same. So either to meet customers' requirement or to be held in store and sold to the customers. Then I said specific quantity is made before you move to the next quantity. So I've demonstrated that 200 was made before another 200, another 200, another 200. So that is for that. So I said first 300 made, second 300, and the third 300. So that is the batch production. Then the third one, flow production. Let me explain to you before we come there. Flow. If you look at the video I put on your WhatsApp group, it's a typical example. You see, it's a continuous production system. And the flow production uses the continuous production system. There's another production system, that is the intermittent production system. Job production uses the intermittent production system. When you get there, you learn about that. And I've explained briefly what the flow, the continuous and then the intermittent production systems are. Now, with the flow production, if you look at the how the garri was processed, you see that the truck came, then the truck put the raw cassava or offloaded the raw cassava at a certain point. Then as it is offloading, it will pass through a channel, a conveyor will carry it, it will get to a workstation. I've already explained to you what is meant by workstation. So it will get to a workstation. Then something will be done. For example, the cassava will be peeled. Then it will move to another point where, or maybe it started by washing it, then it will move, it will be peeled, it will move, it will be broken, it will become, at a certain point in time, it became watery, then it moves to a certain point, it dries, it moves, it forms the garri. As it is moving, it gets to a certain point till it gets to the final workstation where it was, the garri was put in the bag. And then now human being decided to seal it. So there was a handheld sewing machine that was used for that purpose. That is it. You see, when you put the raw cassava, by the time the product comes out, it will pass through one workstation to another, from one workstation to another, from one workstation to another, till the final product emerges or comes out. Till the final product emerges or comes out. Some of you, when you were in JHS or primary school, you visited some companies that were using this flow production. You went, you saw that they put the raw materials there, then it went through certain processes. It was moving from one workstation to another. Then the final product, that was, let's say, malt. The final product, whatever it was in a bottle, came out. That is the flow production. And that is, you see, but at your level, it is also considered as mass. Mass means that you make the thing in larger quantity. Unlike this one, the job production, where units, smaller units are made. When you come to the flow production, you make the product in larger quantity, in thousands, in millions. And once you are making that product, you are using the continuous production system to make larger quantity of the product. Then it is mass production. Now I will show you the difference between the mass production. There is mass production in the flow production, but in mass production, a target can be set for the day. For example, today they are producing 30,000 units. So when they are through, the machine will be shut down. So the product will move from one workstation to another uninterruptedly. There will not be any stoppage. There will not be any stoppage till the final product comes out. That is the case for mass production and for flow production. But for mass production, what happens is that at the end of the day, the machine may be shut down. So today, the target was to produce 30,000 units. So after the day, the machine is shut down. And then the next day, they will continue. But the flow has all the characteristics of the mass production. It is produced in larger quantity. The product will flow from one station to workstation to another uninterruptedly. That means there will not be any stoppage. But if you look at job production, there will be stoppage. The tailor that you send your material to, if he is hungry, he will stop the work and go out to eat. He comes back, he cuts, he stops. So the carpenter that is making your furniture, let's say set of dining table, another person too has asked him to make bed. He can cut yours, leave your own, then he attends to the person's own. Some of them will be there. You have even given them the job. They have given you the time, the date you should come for. When you go, they stop your work. What if they see you coming? Then they will attend to your work. Then they will leave another one. Quite recently, I was at a place and the person was doing something for me. Prior to that, somebody had gone. When I went and I said I wanted more because I was traveling, the person said, hey, this person too brought his in the morning. Then he said, okay, you let me do your own. Then he started doing it. As when he saw the person coming, he stopped my own, then he went to that person's own. The person came, went and sat somewhere. The person thought he was working on his, meanwhile he was working on mine. You see, that is intermittent. You are using the intermittent production system. But the flow production uses the continuous one. In other words, it is continuous because when you put in the raw material, whatever, everything will move from one workstation to another uninterrupted. So the key word is uninterrupted. In other words, there will not be any stoppage. But for job production, there will be stoppage. So that is for that one. So I said the flow production is continuous production, but not on small jobs. It is continuous production, and it is not on small job. If it is not on small job, then it means that it is on mass production. In the moment you say mass production, then you are looking at producing in larger quantity. You are producing in thousands, in millions, and so on and so forth. And in the flow production, it is even possible that the whole year the machine will not be shut down. That is the difference between the flow and then the mass. But ladies and gentlemen, concentrate on the flow, because at your level they want you to look at it from the job production, then the batch production, and then the flow. Even though those who write mass production, it will also be considered as the flow. But if you write mass production, number one, number two, flow production, it means you have written one. So if they ask you to talk about 3 types of production, and then you wrote mass production, flow production, and job production, you have written 2, not 3, because the mass production and then the flow production will be considered as one. But let me tell you, the 2 are not the same. As you move to a higher level, At the university, you learn that the flow and then the mass, they are not the same. But let me tell you that you concentrate on job production, batch production, and the flow production. So a continuous production but not on small. I said it is associated with mass production method of manufacturers who are producing regular, continuous moving flow of manufactured goods. Moving flow. You remember the video that you have. I don't know whether if it were on this phone. Let me see if you can see it on this phone. I see whether I can show it here. For the benefit, there are, apart from you, there are other several people who are also watching. I have over 900 subscribers, foreigners included. So they may not be on your WhatsApp platform. If you are watching me, if you want to know the flow production, just go to YouTube and then search for continuous production system. You see the flow production. But let me see whether I can show you this one. Okay, so you see the cassava, and look at it. Then the cassava will be moving from one workstation to another. Look at the operation. It is continuous. It is not intermittent. You see, it is moving. It moves from one workstation to another. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. So it is moving from one. This is a workstation. When it is through, it moves to another workstation. So this is also another workstation. It moves from one workstation to another. Look at what is happening. This is also another workstation. It is continuous. It is not intermittent. You see, look at it. You see, it moved uninterruptedly until the final product emerged. So you see, there was no stoppage anywhere. So this is continuous production system, and this is flow production. The flow production uses the continuous production system. Once you start, there is no stoppage until the final product comes out. So you see now it is being packaged. It is being packaged. It is being packaged. So this is where labor became very important. So when you are using technology, you don't need more human beings. Look at what the machine has done. If it were supposed to have been done by human beings, then you would have known the number of people you would have needed. And this machine, I've already told you, is a specialized machine. So the flow production is associated with specialized machine. So that is for that. It started here and we have ended it. Okay, so if you look at this one, I said, I'm going over this one. I said it is continuous production, but not on small jobs. It's associated with mass production. If you look at what we just I showed you, that is mass production. Mass production. You saw the track. You saw it. You saw the quantity of cassava. So mass production method of manufacturers who are producing regular, continuous moving flow of manufactured goods. Then I said the third flow. This third flow means there is no stoppage. That's why it is called flow. And please, that is what distinguishes the flow production from the for the mass production to the product to move uninterrupted. There will not be any stoppage. But for the flow, the machine may not be shut down for the whole year. So let's look at cement production. The machine may be on throughout the year, or till they will stop it and service the machine. That if when they want to service the machine, then they will stop. So in paper making industries, in cement making industries, in steel making industries, the flow method is used. And I said here that there's that standardized or identical product. Standardized or identical product. Just like the batch or the group production, the batch production, there may be standardization. But for the job, different products are produced, and we know the reason why that happens. So that is that. So standardized or identical products are produced. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of this topic. Methods or types of production. Methods or types of production. I hope you got it. I have explained it in simple terms to you. Just go sit down and study your notes. Watch it again and again. In our next meeting, we will be looking at the production system that I have already introduced you to. How they are related to the types of production. Because the type of production, the method that you are going to use will depend on the type of production. Remember, we, for example, said that for flow production, you use the continuous production system. Mass production, you use the continuous production system. But for job production, you use the intermittent production system. Till we meet again another time and continue with our lessons on production management. We will be looking at the physical facility. That is where we look at types of production system. To meet again another time. Bye-bye.